today on an all-new Dr. Phil, the ex-wife.
You said I blanking hate your blanking guts.
She was cheating on me, going to Starbucks to pray with the red thong on.
The new boyfriend.
You said you're going to end him.
I'm here to be ended, like you said. End me.
The shocking accusations.
Have you slept with 50 to 100 men?
Definitely not.
Do you pray at the Starbucks altar in red lingerie? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'm trying to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Is here today, and he says he wants nothing more than to peacefully co-parent with his ex-wife, Andrea, but he says there are a few big problems. He claims Andrea is a lying, stealing sex addict who exposes their 6-year-old son to a lewd lifestyle. Now, since their breakup 2 years ago, Bobby claims Andrea has had sex with somewhere between 50 to 100 men, many of whom he believes she has brought around their innocent young son. Now, Andrea, on the other hand, says Bobby is a bitter, broken, and delusional man who harasses her, slashed her tires, and has stolen her intimate pictures and sent them to anyone and everyone in an attempt to hurt her. She says Bobby's hatred knows no bounds, and he will stop at nothing to make her look like a terrible mother. But Bobby says he won't rest until the whole world knows her dirty secrets, including their own son. Take a look.
I have so much hatred towards my ex-wife, Andrea. I find it extremely difficult to co-parent with her. She's ruined my life. She's cheated on me every chance that she got. A majority of our relationship, I was in Iraq. She was cheating on me the whole entire relationship. The first time I caught her cheating, she dressed up in the red lingerie. She was going to Starbucks to read the Bible. I don't know who needs to pray with the red thong on. That was the final straw, and I filed for divorce. She's a horrible example to my son. Andrea has had random sex with 50 to 100 guys. When I looked at her cloud, I saw pictures of Andrea and a whole bunch of different guys trying to look sexy. One of the pictures of the person she was kissing was one of her family members. Never felt more disgusted. I have done a lot of background checks on all of Andrea's boyfriends. Andrea was dating this one guy who had a lot of felonies, including several domestic violence charges. She had the nerve to put him on the pickup list of my son's daycare. Now she has a new boyfriend, Jordan, who is meddling in my relationship with my son. Jordan is mind-numbingly stupid, arrogant. He's a piece of crap. One thing that definitely irritates me is him negotiating my time with my son. My fear is that my son will start liking his new stepdad and I will be left in the dust.
Okay, so, Bobby, you started that out by saying you absolutely hate's a big word. You said you absolutely hate your ex-wife.
I do.
Why?
I can't stand her. I just feel like she's ruined my life.
How has she ruined it?
I don't know. She cheated on me the entire relationship. I believe that she was cheating on me the whole time.
And you said 50 to 100 men. Where did she find these guys?
I have
That's
no idea.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I said it could be. I don't know that many. It could go that far.
But a lot of guys, right?
Yeah, I don't have.
You think
exactly
she's promiscuous?
I believe that she's very sexually promiscuous.
Okay. And you said she went to pray at Starbucks. Is that a place people go to pray?
That's the story that she gave me.
And how did you know she was wearing a red thong when she went to pray at Starbucks?
She had red lingerie on. That was
How do you know?
because I saw her. She was getting ready, and
Oh, you watched her putting it on.
yeah, she put it on, and she was going to go out of the house like that. We lived in Colorado.
What's Colorado got to do?
Well, it was cold.
Oh, I see. You thought that's not very warm to be going out to pray at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay. And why was she going to pray at Starbucks?
I don't know. That's just the story she gave me.
Is that something that she did typically?
No.
You said that you sent her current boyfriend a collage of pictures to show him how she is.
Not inappropriate picture, just, I believe, pictures of, her kissing different men and stuff like that.
And you have a lot of those pictures, right?
Yes.
I mean, she's kissed a lot of guys.
Well, yeah, I believe she's been with a lot of guys, yeah.
And you got these pictures off the cloud?
Yeah, I sold her my iPhone 5, and I bought an iPhone 6, and I didn't delete my cloud because she wanted my music and stuff like that. So I was just like messing with my phone, and I had like a bunch of deleted pictures, and I opened it up, and it was a bunch of inappropriate pictures.
You said you sold her your iPhone 5?
Yes. Yes.
Your wife?
Yes. Well, we were separated then, but yeah.
Oh, okay. But you sold it to her?
Yes.
What'd you get for it?
$200.
$200?
Yeah.
You sold your phone to your wife for $200?
Yes.
I didn't know you could sell stuff to your wife. So you sold her your iPhone 5, and then you somehow, these clouds merged, you said?
Yeah, somehow, I guess her pictures ended up in my cloud or something
Just
like
somehow.
that. Yeah. I don't know how.
Just whoops.
Yeah.
There they were. You had nothing to do with that.
No, I didn't. I
One
just
day
was
you
messing
opened
my...
it up, and there they were.
Yeah.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Yeah, it's...
And so you found all of these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you said one of them was her kissing a family member?
I believe it was her family, yeah.
So you put all these together. You created this collage.
Yes.
And you sent this to her boyfriend.
Some of them. I don't know if I sent... I don't know what exactly I sent, but some of them maybe.
And you sent it to the lawyers.
Well, yeah, we were getting a divorce, so they wanted, to see one of the reasons why I was getting divorced.
Yeah, so she sent it to her boyfriend and to the lawyers.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you hire a private investigator?
I did for one day.
Yeah. And what was that for?
That was just the judge had told, we were at a meeting with the judge right before we got divorced, and they told, Andrea and me, why the divorce is in progress, not to have my child around any random men. So we hired a private investigator.
And I assume if she's running through these men, 50 to 100, that he found her with at least a half a dozen, right?
No.
How many men?
No. Well, just, I guess this guy she's with now, that's it.
She's with her boyfriend,
Yes.
but not random men coming and going?
No. It was just one day. The only thing that he didn't really see nothing, just the only thing he saw was my son going back and forth to the car with keys in his hand.
And your son's how old?
6.
Okay. Your concern is she has ruined your life and she's running around with a bunch of men.
Well, one of my concerns is, I'm trying to compare it with this person, but I don't respect her, and I'm worried that my son, when he gets older, is not going to respect her, And I'm just, I want to co-parent. I want to be able to exist. This new boyfriend that he has constantly sending me insulting texts, trying to negotiate time with my child.
And that's inappropriate to send insulting texts.
Yes.
That's just offensive to your sensibilities for somebody to send insulting texts.
Yeah, well, I mean, I shouldn't even be talking to his boyfriend.
Well, right, and that would be bad. All right. Look, we got to take a break. Next, Andrea says Bobby is a raging lunatic who has slashed her tires, put dents in her car, stole her wedding ring, and pawned it. We're going to meet her after the break. I said, no matter how flat you make a pancake, it's got two sides. We're going to flip this one over and see what's on the other side. We'll be right back.
Bobby is constantly calling me a slut, whore, I'm sleeping around. He showed up at my mom's house, slashed my tires, and put dents in the van I was driving.
And later,
You can't even make eye contact.
you said you're going to end him.
I'm here to be ended, like you said. End me.
When I pick up my son, I ask him all the important questions that every parent should ask. What did you eat? Mommy pack you anything for lunch? Did you bathe? Andrea neglects our son's hygiene. When Kaden comes home to me, he looks dirty. She's not making him brush his teeth. She doesn't pack him a lunch. Andrea makes a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for breakfast because that's all she knows how to cook. It just shouldn't be the first meal of the day.
Well, Bobby admits his hatred for his ex-wife, Andrea, runs so deep that he finds it hard to focus on and co-parent with her peacefully. He says that she is a sociopath with a severe sex addiction who's exposing their young son to her bad behavior. Now, Andrea says Bobby doesn't care about their son. She says he's too busy trying to run her life, chasing her boyfriends away, and blaming her for their failed marriage.
My ex-husband, Bobby, hates my guts. Bobby is constantly calling me a slut, whore, I'm sleeping around. He has threatened to get me fired from my job. Bobby has blamed me for everything that has gone wrong in his life. Early on in our marriage, we began to have problems, and we just couldn't work it out. Bobby would say we divorced because I cheated on him. I cheated on Bobby just one time in our marriage. What I did was stupid, and I was at a low point in my life. Bobby still brings up the money that I took from him. I admit I took money from our account, but it was our money. When he found out, Bobby became a raging lunatic. Bobby showed up at my mom's house, slashed my tires, and put dents in the van I was driving. Bobby will send random texts just to insult me, just to make me feel bad about myself. Bobby gained access to all of my photos on my phone. The pictures were of me with different guys that I dated. Ever since then, Bobby has collected these pictures and have sent them to other friends in my life. Bobby thinks I'm a neglectful mom. Nothing is ever good enough for Bobby. Bobby tries to sabotage my relationship with Kaden by talking about me when I'm not there. Kaden comes home after spending time with Bobby and tells me, "Mommy, you've been with a lot of men." Bobby and my boyfriend Jordan have texted back and forth calling each other names. One time, Kaden came home telling me that he's not allowed to be around Jordan because Jordan said mean things to my daddy. I would like Bobby to get help because right now he's not acting like a good father.
Okay, is he obsessed with what you're doing?
Yes. He spends hours texting me about how I've ruined his life, I do this, I do that. He investigates everything into my life.
Well, he seems focused on who you're dating and who you're kissing or not kissing.
Personally, it's none of his business. He has photos of different friends that I've taken pictures with. He has a photo of my sister's boyfriend, and he just assumes that I'm sleeping around with all of them.
I'm not obsessed with anything about what she does in her personal life at all. Like, if she's going to bring my son around a bunch of men, I like to know if they're a sex offender. You know, so I do background checks on some of her boyfriends. I never focused on Jordan until he started randomly texting me, insulting me, calling me a deadbeat dad, calling me all kinds of...
Well, you said that Andrea has to hook up with 50 to 100 men and has had 4 or 5 boyfriends since separating from him, and that she cheated on you constantly throughout the marriage and has ruined your life.
Yeah, she has cheated on me through our whole marriage.
And
I'm
that
not
you-
the 50 or 100 man. I mean, I was trying to like estimate. I don't know. I mean, it could be, but I'm not 100% sure. I do know that she has, she has cheated on me throughout our whole entire marriage. But I mean, our marriage is over now. I mean, it's about, my child, and I don't want to co-parent with Jordan because Jordan's not a part of the parenting plan, and I don't want him negotiating my time with my son.
Okay, but just to be clear, when you told us about this, you didn't say, I can't really be sure, and I'm just estimating and guessing, but it seems like there could possibly be between 50 and 100 men. You said she's been with 50 to 100 men. She is out there constantly just hooking up with man after man after man, and I got the pictures to prove it. That's what you said.
I don't have the number exactly. I mean, it could be. And
Well,
I'm sorry if I said 50
That's
to
my
100
whole
men.
point. Your story goes a whole lot better when you're the only one telling it. Right? You said it was just disgusting to send insulting text messages. And I blanking hate you, and I blanking hate your blanking guts.
I could have been mad.
And later, have you slept with 50 to 100 men?
No, definitely not.
Do you pray at the Starbucks altar in red lingerie? You've hired a private investigator to prove to the judge that Andrea's bedroom is a revolving door of men. That's what you said. That's a quote.
I hired a private investigator to see if, just for the divorce purposes.
Aren't you already divorced?
Yes, well, we weren't when we hired a private investigator.
Okay, and you do background checks on these guys, right? And you did a background
Sometimes,
check.
only if they focus their attention on me.
You did a background check on Jordan.
I did do a background check on Jordan.
And what'd you find?
Nothing. I think maybe a DUI 5 years ago or something like that, and an underage tobacco thing. It wasn't really bad.
Okay. And did you call his ex-wife?
I wanted to find out, after he started focusing his attention and started insulting me and trying to negotiate my time with my child, I wanted to find out why he's not in his children's life.
So you did call his ex-wife?
Yeah, but
Does that seem extreme to you?
I didn't call his ex-wife. She called me. I messaged her ex-wife.
To call you?
Yes.
Well, that clears it up. And you sent text messages, right? You said it was just disgusting to send insulting text messages. That's offensive to your sensibilities. You told me that people that would send insulting text messages is just disgusting. Well, Bobby actually sends text messages to Andrea while Caden was in school. This one came in on February 7th of this year, just not long ago. That there have been a lot of these. This was timestamped at 10:34 a.m. Bobby, and you're damn right I have not healed yet because you're living your happy-go-lucky life as if nothing blanking happened, as if you didn't ruin my blanking life. And I blanking hate you, and I blanking hate your blanking guts, and I have no intentions on keeping your secret.
I could have been mad.
Yeah. Well, I would hope so. At 10:37, you say, trust me, he's going to resent the blank out of you. You're the reason that he's from a broken home. What's best for him is for you to not act like a little blanking whore. Then you say, your blank smells like blank blank too. I'm glad that I'm not with your blanking nasty ass anymore. Yeah, you seem to be a model of restraint. So you're sending her text messages pontificating about the odor of her body parts. What are you, 12? What is...
I was mad.
I can't imagine anybody wanting to be with you that is not desperate. I would rather stick my blank in the garbage disposal than blank you. But you were mad.
Yeah.
How do you respond when you get these text messages?
I try to be positive. I try to think, okay, he's just going off on his little tangent that he does, and it's embarrassing. I'm at work. I have a job. He has all day to just send and text me.
So what is your objective when you send these?
I mean, yeah, I'm seeing all my text messages, but I'm sure she says, I mean, she had to have said something to get a response like that.
Oh, I'm sure. What is your hoped for objective? What is it you want her to do?
I guess I'm just trying to hurt her.
Let's take a break. Next, after nearly a year of harassment, threats, and an all-out text war, Bobby and Andrea's boyfriend, Jordan, are going to come face-to-face for the first time.
Oh, my God.
Here. You've never met him, right?
No.
Never met him face-to-face?
No.
You've been texting back and forth? You've been checking him out? You've been sending him text messages?
Yeah, I've never met him.
You said you're going to end him. Well, you're going to meet him after the break because he's here. We'll be right back.
Bobby is definitely the worst father I've ever seen. He's such a loser. Bobby has called my work trying to get me fired. Bobby has texted me saying that he wants to destroy me. He will end me.
Closed captioning provided by...
I did a background check on Jordan, and I haven't found anything too serious criminally. I do, on the other hand, know that he has a couple children, but he won't tell me why he doesn't see them, and he doesn't talk about them at all. I want to know why he has 2 children that he doesn't talk to, because he's around my child all the time. I want to know why he can't be around his.
Well, Bobby admits that he hates his ex-wife, Andrea. He says not only has she ruined his life, but now he says her boyfriend, Jordan, is trying to ruin his relationship with his son. Jordan says, look, I'm not going anywhere. In fact, when it comes to Bobby, he says Bobby means nothing to him, and he's just simply not going to be intimidated by him. Take a look.
Andrea and I have been together for 7 months. Andrea's ex-husband Bobby does nothing but harass her all day, every day. He calls Andrea a whore, bitch, a bad mother, a slut, every name in the book, and some that you have never even heard before. There's been up to 180 times per day that he's texted her with nothing but harassing text messages. Bobby is a father, definitely the worst father I've ever seen. He's such a loser. He does nothing for Caden. It makes me angry. My nickname for Bobby is DBD, which means deadbeat dad. All Bobby does is use Caden as a pawn to try to ruin Andrea. Bobby is with Caden for such a limited amount of time, and all he does during that time is text Andrea about her whorish lifestyle, and that's just pathetic. Bobby sent me about 6 pictures of Andrea with different guys. These weren't even dates. These were friends. One of the pictures, she was with her brother-in-law. One night, Bobby texted me that Andrea was out cheating, and she was laying next to me in bed all night long. Bobby has called my work trying to get me fired. Bobby has texted me saying that he wants to destroy me. He will end me. He has absolutely no idea who he's dealing with. Bobby's trying to break us up. He thinks I'm going to walk away. That's not going to happen.
Okay, so this is y'all's first time to meet, right?
It is.
Are you concerned about the impact on your son?
I'm concerned about what's being told to Caden. I'm concerned that Bobby is trying to wreck Caden and I's bond. I've spent years loving Caden, cleaning up after him, doing for him, being a mom. And I have a feeling that Bobby wants to break that up. He wants Caden to have the little respect that Bobby has for me.
And you two have been in a relationship how long, Jordan?
7 months.
7 months? And how do you two get along?
Excellent.
We do okay when Bobby's not in the middle of it, when he doesn't try to sabotage it.
And how does he try to sabotage it?
Bobby has sent numerous text messages to Jordan telling him a bunch of lies, telling him garbage to try to get into Jordan's head, to make Jordan believe all these things that Bobby believes about me.
When this first started, did you believe it?
Not really. I just didn't know. I mean, just the amount of messages that he sends in such a limited amount of time, it just made me realize right off the bat that he's just nuts. I mean, who does that? Sends 50 messages in 10 minutes. Who has the time to do that? A real person does not. They have work. They have a job. I understand you don't. You like to sit at home, play your video games. That's fine. You can't even make eye contact. I'm here to be ended, like you said. End me. End me.
Why do you send him text messages?
He started texting me.
Yeah, well, I'm at work.
Texting me. I didn't even want to be involved with this dude.
Well, you're involved because of the way you treat her.
Yeah, but that's between.
No, that's between me and you. You are not gonna treat her like that. That's why you're intimidated by me, because she has someone that's gonna stand up to you. That's me. You want to mumble it under your lips like you just said, but you won't say it. Say it out loud.
Well, you say that Bobby tells your son that mommy is too busy with her boyfriend.
Yes. If I do not answer a phone call from Caden at 7 o'clock or whatever time because my phone's on the counter, my phone's elsewhere, I'm doing something, Bobby will tell Caden, oh, mommy must be too busy.
Never told Caden that mommy's too busy for her, ever.
Okay.
That's a lie.
Have you talked to your son about his mother? Have you said things to him?
I have never said
Where is he
anything
coming
negative.
up with some of this?
I have not said anything to my son about his mother.
So when Caden asks her, mommy, daddy asks why you have so many boyfriends, I guess there's another daddy that we don't know about.
I don't believe
I guess
that
he's with
my
somebody
son has
else.
Never said that. I don't respect her now.
Well, then why would you want him to respect her?
She's his mother.
Do you tell him she's a wonderful person?
Maybe sometimes.
Closed captioning provided by Okay, now come on. Look, we've got to be honest here. You say that you absolutely hate her. You say that when you get mad that you obviously don't have an edit button. You don't have the ability to pump the brake. You don't inhibit the things that you say, the things that you do. So I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't be politicking with your son and trying to get him to align with you against her. I just find that hard to believe. And when she reports that he comes home and says things that really echo the things that you say, I find it hard to believe that that's coincidence.
I do not tell my son anything negative about her.
Look, we can't help this situation if you're not honest. You're telling me that you don't get mad, as you call it, and say things on impulse that your son hears.
I don't know if he's overheard anything, but I haven't told him anything.
You think he may have overheard you on the phone?
It's a possibility.
Do you think that it's in his best interest if you erode his perception of his mother?
No, it's not in my son's best interest.
Do you think it's a win if he thinks she's a bad person?
No, I do not want my son to think her.
But you hate her.
I don't respect her now.
Well, then why would you want him to respect her?
Well, I mean, I want Caden to respect his mom because his mom loves him.
But you don't respect her. Why would you want your son to respect her? You hate her. You don't respect her. She ruined your life. Why would you want him to think she's a wonderful person?
Because he's, you know, she's his mother.
Do you tell him she's a wonderful person?
Maybe, sometimes.
Oh my God.
All right, no. Not really.
You've got Jordan, so you called his ex-wife. But no, she called you after you sent her a message and said, call me.
It was one of her ex-wives, but I didn't. The only reason why I messaged his ex-wife is because he kept on texting me, you know, trying to negotiate time with my son and trying to pay me for my son. So I was told by one of my friends that he has children. Why doesn't he see them? So I was wondering why why he's not ever talk about his children.
Well, you know, when you call an ex-wife, they're very likely to have a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to give you the worst possible spin. Let's hear what she had to say.
Bobby asked me if Jordan had any kids. He asked me how long we were married. He asked if he had any drinking or drug problems. He was drilling me. Bobby was definitely fishing for information. He seemed like he was almost getting agitated with me because I didn't have anything bad to say about Jordan. Jordan didn't prep me for it at all. Jordan definitely isn't the bad guy that Bobby was making him out to be.
Well, that's his ex-wife.
That was one of them.
Would you have been happier if you'd have found something to leverage?
No, I don't want to. No, I mean, if my son's going to be around this dude, I don't want to find anything negative about him.
Next, Bobby says he's done background checks on Andrea's boyfriends, including Jordan. Bobby says he's positive that Jordan has skeletons in his closets and wants to expose him. There's a lot of exposing going on here today. We'll be right back.
Andrea is not only bringing different men around my son, she's neglectful in other ways. I hired a detective to find out if she was going to bring Caden around different men, even Jordan. One time, he found my son, Caden, going back and forth to the car for about an hour and a half with keys in his hand. And when he saw Andrea, she looked like she had just woken up. And I know that Andrea is hooking up with all kinds of different men, and I just don't want Caden to be exposed to that.
Well, Bobby and Andrea are in a feud over their 6-year-old son. Bobby says that Andrea is a terrible mother who exposes his child to random men, extreme sexual behavior, and even allowed a felon to pick him up from school. Andrea says Bobby is obsessed with her and harasses her with daily texts, saying things like, "You were a slut while I was protecting your freedom." Now, tell me what extreme sexual behavior you've exposed your son to.
None. He is not introduced to any men that come in my life until they're serious. He didn't meet Jordan for 2 months.
But what extreme sexual behavior is he referring to?
I have no idea. Dr. Phil, my father has lived with me over half of the time that we've been separated. How can I have these men in and out when my dad is sleeping on the couch?
Have you slept with 50 to 100 men?
No, definitely not.
Are you into like S&M or some type of?
No. I don't even know if I know what that is.
Do you pray at the Starbucks altar in red lingerie?
No. I believe the one time that he is talking about, I had a dress on that was red, and I went out. We were married. It was the lowest point of my entire life and into our marriage. And yes, I did cheat on him one time. I've apologized, tried to make it right. Nothing will work.
And you have a job?
Yes,
And how long have you had that job?
about 3 years.
And I don't need to know where you work, but what do you do?
I'm a teacher,
And what do you teach?
kindergarten.
Are you a big drinker?
I've never drank.
You don't drink at all?
Never a sip of alcohol.
And I assume you're big into drugs then?
Never. Never once.
You
Never
don't
had
do
a cigarette.
drugs? You don't do drugs? You don't do alcohol? You don't smoke?
No. No,
And
sir.
you teach kindergarten?
Yes, sir.
What a tramp. Do you have the right woman here? I think there's something going on here. Would y'all like to know what I think's going on here?
Please. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, after the break, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think's going on here. We'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by Bobby. I recognize here that you have unfinished emotional business with your ex-wife. I think you were hurt in that relationship, and I think you had and still have feelings for her. And you label it as hate because it's causing you a lot of pain. And I don't know if you're still desperately in love with her, or if you feel a lot of pain from being rejected or this marriage falling apart, but you still have a lot of unfinished emotional business with her, and you haven't accepted the fact that this truly is over with.
No, I'm not. I don't have emotional feelings for her.
Oh, you do have emotional feelings for her.
I'm not in love with her. I don't love her.
She's moving on with her life, and you need to figure out how to do that with yours. If you went to court right now in a custody battle, you would lose in a very ugly way, because your conduct smacks of parental alienation, instability, and unpredictability. All factors that are taken into consideration in terms of the fitness of the parent. The court would very likely deem you to be a danger to the child rather than her. So my advice to you is that you need to work to get yourself past the pain that this relationship has caused you. And if you really do want to co-parent with her, you have to resolve your agenda with her. You don't have to be best friends with her. You don't even have to ever see her again. You can exchange the child through a mediator if necessary. If I arranged to get you some help for that, would you take it?
Yeah.
To get you some resolution for that, would you take that help?
Yes.
And if I then arranged to get some co-parenting help for the two of you, to get somebody to come in and actually set up a co-parenting plan, would the two of you participate in that?
Yes.
Yes.
I will make those arrangements for you guys to get some help with that so you can move past this. Fair enough?
Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can also join in on the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. Remember, when there are children involved, you really need to be a fiduciary and put their interest ahead of your own. That's the best gift that you can give to them in this life and in this world. Thanks for being here today. Check this out.